Alright, thanks a lot for joining me. In this lesson, we're going to tackle Day Tripper by the Beatles. If you're already subscribed, thanks a lot for your support. If this is your first time, my name is Jimmy, and on this channel we do gear videos, technique lessons, and song lessons just like this one. So if you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing. Now at any point during the video, you can check the lesson plan in the description box below. There you'll find equipment details, tips and tricks, along with timestamps so that you can skip to different parts of the video. So like we mentioned, we're taking a look at Day Tripper by the Beatles. Classic song with a great riff. We're going to break it up into three parts together. We're going to look at the first rhythm guitar part with an overview of the chord progression. Then we'll look at that lead guitar / rhythm guitar part with those famous riffs in there. And then finally we'll break down the solo together. Let's check it out and go to the close-up. So we're going to start by looking at the first rhythm guitar part before we get into the riffs. Let me just show you the guitar part that plays the chords in the background. So again, we're in the key of E here, so we're going to start with an open E. And the idea behind this first part, this first rhythm part, is this E to E7 movement. So you're going to take your pinky and keep your E major chord and then put your pinky down 3rd fret on the B string. And it's real quick. It comes down and then back up. It sounds like this. So E, E7, and then back to E. And the rhythm is real quick. So that happens in the intro. That happens as you layer the parts for the intro. The guitar starts playing. Then the bass comes in unison with the guitar. And then both of those play, and in the background you can hear the other rhythm guitar. And then finally the drums come in. But that rhythm guitar part keeps playing through the verse. So that's your intro. Now your verse is 4 bars of that E to E7, then 2 bars of an A7, and then back to the E to E7 for 2 bars. And then we'll go into the chorus section. So let's just start with that first part, the E7, A7 to E7. Sounds like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're ready to go into the Day Tripper part. So from there, you're going to go into an F sharp 7, which is your E7 barred at the 2nd fret. This is the She Was a Day Tripper part. Then we're going to keep this same pattern. We're going to slide up to an A7, down to a G7. Then you go all the way up, 9th fret, C sharp 7, and then back down to a B7. So that entire section is 4 bars of the F sharp, and then 1 bar each of the following chords. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. and then back into the riff. The other guitar part would do that. Let's just do that section again, starting from the F sharp 7. You can kind of consider it the chorus part. From the F sharp 7, 3, 4. Into the break. And then now the solo, the rhythm guitar on the solo just plays a B7. So you could either do an open B7, or you could play the B7 at the 7th fret. Whichever one you prefer there. But that's basically the whole first rhythm guitar part for the song. But it's nice to start with that because it also gives you a good overview of the entire chord sequence, and you get an idea of the structure of the song. Now let's take a look at the rhythm guitar part that includes the famous riffs. So we're nice and close here to focus on this second rhythm guitar part that features those lead lines, or like the riff lines, and then the solo. So we're going to focus on your fretting hand. Your picking hand is going to basically be all downstrokes. You can play that how you prefer. I usually play it all downstrokes. But here's how that lick sounds. So what are we actually doing? We're starting with an open E, O-E. And then we go second and third fingers on the 3rd and 4th fret, respectively. Now you're going to take your index finger. You're going to go 2nd fret on the A string and 2nd fret on the D string. You can actually lay him down there and keep both of those covered. See how I do that? Play these two up here and then roll that first finger down. Then you're going to go open D. Pretty straightforward so far. Do it real slow again. Now you finish the lick focusing around these two notes. You're going to do index finger, 2nd fret, your first finger, 2nd fret. And then I like to play, I either play my 3rd finger or 4th finger. You can do whichever one's more comfortable for you. Here at the 4th fret on the D string. And you rock back and forth. And then open D to 2nd fret. You can even just practice that part by itself. Now put both of those pieces together. And there's your featured lick to Day Tripper. Now that lick is focused over the E7 chord. And remember when we talked about the first rhythm guitar part, we said the verse features 4 bars of that E7. So the riff takes up 2 bars, so you'd play the riff twice during the verse. Now you're going to change to the A7 chord. And then you're going to go back to the E7. And And that's the first half of your verse. In other words, that's the section that comes before She's a Day Tripper as you go into the chorus section. Let me show you that part where we move to the A7 chord. We're keeping the same rhythm feel of that lick. All we're doing is moving it across one set of strings. So now instead of starting on the open E, you're going to start the lick on the open A string. And you're going to play it in pretty much the same way. So you're going to go open A, second and third finger respectively. Now you go to the barred for, first finger. And then the section where you rock back and forth with your first and fourth finger. And then you put both of those pieces together and you end up with... Real slow again. And again, I'm just doing all downstrokes on my picking hand here. So the trick to that is going to be the switch from E to A and then back to E. So you're going to want to practice that nice and slow as you go through. So that's your first part of the second rhythm guitar part. Now we're going to look at the section where we go into kind of like the chorus. So we saw the other rhythm guitar part playing full dominant 7 chords here. So the F sharp, the A, G sharp, C sharp, and then B. But for this rhythm guitar part, or we could say the riff guitar part, we're going to focus on the power chords. So we're going to play an F sharp 5. And again, you can do these either with your first and fourth or your first and third fingers, whatever you prefer. So there's our F sharp 5. We're going to be on that for 4 bars. You're going to slide up to an A5, down to a G sharp 5. Now for this rhythm guitar part, instead of sliding all the way up, we'll try and differentiate between the two parts. So we'll let the other guitar slide up here, and then for this rhythm guitar part, we're going to play a C sharp 5 here at the 4th fret with your root on the A string. Then slide down to the B. Okay, so we're coming out of the last E7. So this section with the power chords, again, all downstrokes on your picking hand, and you're going to do a little bit of a palm mute. Here, I'll just move this guy over. I basically just have my hand laying down. So instead of it ringing out, lay the hand down a little, just my palm, so that it keeps it a little bit tighter there. And the cool thing that you can add on that F sharp power chord is you can hammer on with your index finger, and that gives you this sound. So now if you want to, you can put the entire verse and chorus section together. We're going to start with the riff over the E7. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you basically have all of the pieces to the verse and chorus. Now let's take a look at the solo. So the first part of the solo is that same riff that we learned over the E and the A, but now we're going to learn it so that it fits over the B7 chord. And there's a number of different ways to play it, but the way I'm going to teach you is closer to the open set of strings, to the open position here. So the original lick over E sounded like this. Now here's the lick over B. So we're keeping the same rhythm. The trick to this is we're going to start with a B power chord. So instead of just starting on one note, you're going to start on two. So you start with your first and fourth finger over B5 there on the A and D strings, right? Now the next part of the lick is, so on the D string, open, first finger at the first fret, and then fourth finger at the fourth fret. You can even do that as a hammer-on if you want to. So your fourth finger then is going to roll down, fourth finger at the fourth fret of the G string, and then first finger at the second. Now this part is fourth fret on the D string. Now you're going to skip the string, you're going to go first finger, second fret of the B string. And to finish the lick, you do the little rock back and forth, which is fourth fret on the D string to second and fourth fret on the G string. So the whole lick real slow, starting with that power chord. So the solo starts with that lick 3 times. You play it through 3 times, and then you're going to go into a little lead break. This is still happening over the B7 chord. Sounds like this. So that's a close approximation to what's happening in the solo. So we're coming out of the B riff. And then I'm going to slide into a pentatonic box here from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret on the G string. So I'm just going to hold that note for 2 beats. And then I rock back and forth. So there's your pentatonic box, rocking back and forth. So try that. But now once you hit this 5th fret on the B string, you're actually going to bend it up a whole step. And then you're going to catch the E string with your pinky at the 5th fret, and you're going to play both of those together. And then you come back down with the note that you have on the B string. It's pretty tricky getting those 2 fingers to work together and keeping the strength in your bend, but it'll take a little bit of practice, but you can get it. Then you're going to slide, stay on the B string, you're going to slide all the way up to the 12th fret. And we're going to do another little pentatonic move here. So that's a great lick. You can use that in a lot of places as well. I'll move over here so that you can see the my picking hand as well, because we're up here, 12th fret. Again, we have a little box going on. Rock back and forth. This is 10 on the E string. And then up to 12 on the E. Do another full bend and back down. And there's your second lick to the solo. Then the solo finishes back down here. You're going to play 4th fret on the G string along with your open B. You get this little double stop, these two B notes happening in unison. You can just play them by themselves, or you can add that little slide in there. Sometimes I like to add the slide for a little bit of fun. And then you're back into the main riff. So if you were to play the entire solo together, remember it starts with 3 of those B7 riffs, and then it goes into the little lead lines. So here is how it sounds all together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm back into the main riff. So you have all the pieces now to Day Tripper. You have the full chords for the first rhythm guitar part, and then you have all the riffs that the other rhythm guitar part plays during the verse and the chorus, and finally you know the pieces to the solo now. So the big trick to this is play along with the recording and get the feel of the song, and you'll also have all the pieces that you need to put the arrangement together. Alright, so today's topic, what other Beatles songs do you want to see on the channel? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let's get the conversation going and see how we can help each other out. Thanks again for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this, and we'll see you on the next one.